A good night of Shabbos. Pashas Matas Masay. It's Rosh Chodesh. It's Rosh Chodesh. Chodesh Av. It's the beginning of the 9 days. We just finished the 3 weeks. The beginning of the 9 days. It's been the 9 days, 3 weeks. I mean, anybody that's been tuned in to is you know, you understand what the 3 weeks, the energy that's going on. It's there's big lessons. It's been a Matzarim. It's you know, there's a lot of revelations. It's the biggest and most intense days as far as encountering and experiencing aligning from a place that is the natural tone of the body, the natural tone of the guf, which is the crying. You know, remember we were after the Egel, the Eden were standing outside by the doors, and they were crying, and the Evsha said, "Okay, you guys are crying. I'll give you something to cry about." You know, if that's, in other words, if that's what you want to tune into, you know, then that's what's going to be coming down. So let's understand, let's see what's going on over there and what the avodah is for the 9 days specifically, and how we're supposed to align ourselves with it, what's asked. So in this week's parsha, the Eibishter tells Moshe, "Vadaber Hashem al Moshe leim, and the Kohen nikvas b'nei Yisrael me'es hamadyanim achat Yosef el Amecha." The Eibishter tells him, "Go, avenge the blood." The Kohen, the Kama, nikvas b'nei Yisrael me'es hamadyanim. Okay. Achat Yosef el Amecha. After you're going to be doing that, you are going to be ma'asif to your Amecha. Okay, whatever that means. He's going to go whatever Amecha means. So, in other words, yeah, as he passed on, then B'chol Dor V'Dor is Pashtusa de Moshe. There's his consciousness around in every day, in every generation. So he's here in consciousness, in each and every one of us. It's a level of understanding that we have access to, and that is because he's the Roy Neman, and he provides that level of consciousness. Okay, so the question here is that if we're talking about Moshe Rabbeinu, he's about to move on, to pass on, and out of all the things that the last conversation Eibishter has with him over here, he tells him that go Nemna Kama for Midian, for what they did to Shevet Shimon last week, and after that you're going to be Ma'asif to your Amecha, and Moshe runs to do it. Moshe runs until they even find out about it, and they slow the process down. Okay, but he's ready, he's all in. So what's going on over here? What's happening over here? So we have as follows. We have Midian is Madan Umuruva. It means judgment and fight, conflict. Judgment and conflict. Now, it's Midian is a consciousness that goes into very, very detailed split. Very detailed split. It splits at in the most darkest digga places where they found a loophole for Bnei Yisrael how to infiltrate and get them to with the story with Zimri ben Sali, and 24,000 of Shem and Shimon passed on, died. So what is this Madan Ameriva? What are we dealing with, and what's the connection to Moshe's passing on in order for him to go into the next chapter and everybody else going into the next chapter? Okay, so we have as follows. Madan Ameriva. So the way it works is that we were in a ball of consciousness, the ocean. We all know the mashal, the ocean. It's one big consciousness, and then a cup was scooped out and it was split. It was split into, it's called as chalkes. It's called, first there's this arvis, then there's mixed up, and then there's the chalkas where it's split. We're going to do this just referencing. So the split happened in 10 Esespheres Agnuzis. Esespheres Agnuzis is where the beginning of something starts, coming from nothing. So it's very, very technical. It's very dakisdik, because if something created is betachas apshitas, he has no color, and how can there be a split within of 10? And then if you're going to say that it's just yesh me'ayin, it's a creation, he created it, but we are cheleg elokam mimal mamish. So if we are connected to cheleg elokam mimal mamish, then how is there a split of 10? How is there a split of 10? And how is there within us a split of 10? If it's cheleg elokam mimal mamish. So not leave the last part out, but just to go back to that, so that's the question. And so the answer is that it has to be a split. We're going to jump to the answer. I know we're leaving out some in the middle. There has to be a split in order for there to be appreciation. So then 10 can be created, and from that 10 there should be iskalas, isachdas once again. Isarvis, ischalkas, and then hiskalas. Koirach ve'edasoi, he went into the kerech, he went in all the way up there, and he went into his chalkas. But it wasn't L'Shem Shemaim, because the split all the way from the beginning has a specific kavana. The kavana is that it should be for his kalas, for his achdus after that. There should be unity after that. As long as, and if something is done, the hischalkas is done, not with the intention for there to be unity after, is machloike shehi l'shem shemaim soifel iskan, machloike she'en l'shem shemaim en soifel iskan. Yep, en soifel iskan. Why? Because if somebody goes into a split because I claim this is my truth, and you trace it back all the way to the essence, but in the essence, the kavanah is that there should be unity. And if there is no unity, then there's a koirach. The earth opens up and it swallows. We get swallowed up into Malchus. Now, we have over here, in the pasuk it says, Vayikumu lifnei Moshe v'anashim b'nei Yisrael chamishim v'masayim Messi ele kriya moed anshe Shem. Torah calls them anshe Shem. These people that were doing this is chalkis, and it's interesting. Targum is very intense. Ravreve Ravreve, like the missionos, kenishta, people that mish. Okay, arevis. Zam gemisht in arevis. Supposedly they were saying that we're going to esespheres agnuzis, we're going into oneness, but really it wasn't l'shem shemaim. Ma'arei zman, they were ma'orer zman, anashim the shema. Okay, you can touch it and go, but ultimately what happened is that they did an action, they were called Anshe Shem. Let's go back to in Parshas Noach. We're going to make ourselves a Shem. This here we're talking about the Daraflaga. They were building the Migdal. They were building a tower. They were building a tower that ultimately they said, we don't need to follow a system in order to receive light, to receive oil. We can do this on our own. We don't have to follow that system. I can follow another system. I can follow, it's about being, all about love and his achdus, right? That's what Korach said. Korach said that, listen, Moshe, you are splitting. Why can't we all have our own kav? So then there will be iskalas. But Moshe said, no, that's not where the channel is at. So we have the Dara Flaga. They're called Anshe Shem. And then we have Koirach, Anshe Shem. And then we have Madan Umaruva, Midian, which is once again, they are a splitter. They found the Dakas Digedin B'Tseya and that's where they cause split and chaos. So the Eibshter tells Moshe to go clean it up, to go kill them, because Anshe Shem, it's also, this is all from Chassidus, Anshe Shem, the ganze Zaf in the Korach, this is all the Rebbe Shav here. It's called Shemaim. It's called Shemaim. Shem is Malchus, and Shemaim is Zah, which is the Midas. In other words, it's Shemaim, it's a place where the Midas, our actions, have to align with Malchus. It has to be aligned with the feminine. The masculine has to be aligned with the feminine. In other words, I'm taking action for the sake of Achdus, but be very careful. Because if it's not for Achdus, and it's going to get to the point of the moment, then there's an explosion. Because the Kavanah is for his Achdus. But if the Kavanah of the Machloikis is not L'Shem Shemaim, it's not to connect Malchus and Zah, the way he wants it to be connected, through Torah and Mitzvahs, then there is massive explosion, especially when you get to the moment of truth, because it can't tolerate. It can't tolerate because it's the truth, and if you claim you're going for the truth, so how do we ultimately know if it's L'Shem Shemaim or not? How can you check? You got to check where it's coming from. What's the intention? Is it coming from building a migdal? I don't need to follow a certain matrix. I can just do, and it's in the name of love, in the name of this achdus, when really it's ischalkes, and it's not connecting. Then you know it's off. Now, really what we're talking here about is the Eibshter is telling Moshe that it's all in radical love. It's all in radical forgiveness. It's all in Avas Chinam. The Beis Hamikdash was Chorev, the second Beis Hamikdash because of Sinas Chinam. We can get an idea what Sinas Chinam looks like. Sinas Chinam is where we just can't tolerate. We can't tolerate. There's a burn. There's a resistance to the truth. It's a brand. There's a resistance to the truth. That's all it is. It's not the Sinas Chinam is the people turned into Sinas Chinam. Sinas Chinam is in the consciousness. There is this burning, but that's where his chalkas is. It's a split. It's Madan and Meriva, but at the same time, it has to be. It can go into Arevis, to his Achdus, to oneness, to Ausgemisht, Arevim Zelazeh. So we're going into. We went into the 3 weeks. We went into to the split Charbon Beis Hamikdash, which came from a place of Sinas Chinam, and in this week's parsha, the Eibshter tells Moshe to go take a Midian, which is Madan and Meriva, to clean that up, because they caused this. They were ordered this split, so we have to do something radical over here in order to bring in Avos Chinam. Today's also Aaron Cohen's yahrzeit. Aaron Cohen was Oyev Shalom Veredev Shalom. It's a day that there's tremendous shefa. It's Rosh Chodesh, and it's Aaron Cohen's yahrzeit. Tremendous shefa of just forgiveness, radical forgiveness and acceptance, which is that because there's this intensity in Malchus, it's not the fault, it's just there in the consciousness. And now as Aaron Cohen is here to soften that. There's that energy that's available that to soften it, to light a candle, Shema's eyes for Aaron Cohen, there should be the shefa flowing through. So we'll just make sure that we got everything on level Shlav Echad. So Midian connected to Madin Meriva. Let's see what Rashi says, because I think I'm missing something. Okay. After you get rid of the Madin Meriva, the split, that's when you can come back to the womb. You can come to Asaf Alamech, you can come into Shechina. You can come into the Hegel. Can be one Madin Meriva. And if it's done Shaloi L'Shem Shemaim, which means not Malchus, we're talking about here about Malchus and Torah. Maim is Torah. Maim El Torah. And if it's not aligned with Torah, then it doesn't. It's not in Yichud. You're not bringing you're not wiping off removing the Madonam, the judgments. These dakas the judgments. Alright, have an awesome Shabbos. And let's see what else follows. Chaim.